What's up, Roulette Fools? Brent with AOB. Okay, another low bankroll session. We're on our way to 10,000. Hopefully you're still following along and you're still being strict about it. Today we're going to play Gladiator. We're going to play a modified version of Gladiator. I'm going to show you the original. I'm going to show you my modified, and I'm going to tell you about a second modified version that really takes advantage of the zero. Okay, so the original Gladiator, select your chip size. In this case, we're going to go 10 cents, and you can come over here to the racetrack and you see the voisins and the TAs. And all you got to do is click once on each there. That's it. That's your bet now. And you can see here, it's $1.50. Okay. Now, if we look at this layout here, what's going to happen is we're covering 29 numbers. Okay. We're covering 29 numbers. Now you can treat this the same as 5 double streets, which is 30 number coverage. So the payouts are the same as a 5 double streets, except 0, 2, and 3 become a banger numbers. They pay 3 times the amount. So if you want to know how much you're going to get, the easy ways to go is pretend that you put that bet on 5 double streets. And we know with 5 double streets, you got 5 units down. So you can take that amount, $1.50, divide it by 5, and that's going to give you 30 cents. So it's the same as if you're putting 30 cents on 5 double streets, and you know 5 double streets pay out 1 unit. So you're going to get 30 cents. In this case, you're going to get 30 cents profit if it hits anywhere out here. If it hits the 0, 2, or 3, that's a 3x banger because we're only covering 29 instead of 30. And the ratio that you're putting on here, 0, 2, and 3, is higher than what you are putting on these other ones. This is 20 cents for 3 numbers. This is 10 cents for 2 numbers. So this is putting double the amount, but only adding 3 numbers instead of 4 number coverage like these. And you can place these on corners or whatever. So this is the first layout. So this is going to pay 30 cents. These are going to pay 90 cents. And the beauty of this thing is, if you are a person that likes to cover 0, this is your strategy. And this had me chasing zeros for a while. You guys know me. I don't care about zeros. Okay. Now I took this one and this one's okay. And basically what you have, if you look over here at the racetrack or the wheel, it leaves this whole section, the orphelins. This is where your whacks are on this one. Okay. So you're going to be missing on the middle of the racetrack when it's oblong. That's where your whacks are going to be. I prefer not to play this strategy, although it's a really quick and easy one. And sometimes I'll do it if I jump onto a wheel real quick. Instead, I'm going to show you how I lay mine out. Same amount. We're going to choose 10 cents. And here's the easy way to do it. And I like this because when I go play at the real casino and I'm on an ETG machine with a digital readout, once you figure this out, it's super easy to place this bet because they don't have saved favorites, at least not at my casinos or MGM. You come to the 0, 2, 3, or you can do 0, 1, 2. I'm going to go 0, 2, 3 because the 3 is around the 0. And I like having everything around the 0 be bangers if I can. I'm going to place 4 units. So there's 4 units. Now it's 4 units, 2 units, 1 unit. So it's double, 1, 2, 4. We start with 4 units. Then you're going to cover your splits. They're all 2 units. I cover these splits. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Skip down to the 23, 24, 1, 2, 27, 30, 1, 2. Then I want my goalpost and I want these numbers covered. 2, 2, 2. Could I put 60 cents right here on the double street? Absolutely, you can. And then I come over here and I start with the 1. I'm going to put 1 unit on it. Okay. Or excuse me, I'm going to put the 1, 4 here. Let's get rid of this. I'm going to put 2 units here. I'm going to put 1 unit on the 10. I'm going to put 2 units on here. I'm going to put 2 units on here on the 1922. And then I'm going to put 1 unit, 1 unit, 1 unit. So if you look at the 1 units, you see they form like this thing here. Now that's covering the same. You see now this is a $3 bet. Okay, instead of the $1.50 because I'm covering individually and I have to keep the ratios. But once you get this layout, now that being said, hey Brent, do I have to cover these? Absolutely not. You could move this split to here. You could move this split to here. It doesn't matter. You can move the split down here. You get to choose which open numbers you like. This one for me is just my personal bias. Really, at the end of the day, it doesn't make a difference. Okay, and again, $3 to figure out your payouts, divide it by 5, right? To figure out what you'd be doing for 5 double streets, that's 60 cents. $3 divided by 5 is 60 cents. So every place we hit out here on the field, the board, we're going to be hitting 60-cent profits. If we hit the 023, we're going to be making $1.80. All right, I took more time than I wanted to, but I really wanted you to be clear about what we were doing and what the payouts are. Get on here, AllonBlack.net. You can go to our roulette analysis tool built for us by the wonderful guys at Clever Bets. And if you create a free username and password to our site, you can actually save your bets over here and come back to them and play with them. All right, let's start playing and see how this goes. Okay, here we go. So we have a bankroll of 144.96, which is where we left off at the end of the last one. We had a good session last time. We made $9.60. So we're at 144. We're looking at a $7 daily target as our nice to have, but we're not fixated on it, okay? So I'm gonna place these bets here the first time. I'm gonna save it after we place it, but I wanna place it live for you right here. So I'm gonna go 1 penny. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, oops, 2, 1, 2, let's get to it, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I didn't get through it. That's okay. You can build a bet here, which is what I should have done, but we're going to bet along the way. We'll make this more interesting. That's what happens when I'm thinking on the fly or not thinking on the fly. So I should have built this bet out, but I didn't. That's okay. All right, there's a hit. All right, let's rebet it. And we're going to go 1 unit there, 1 unit on the 14, 2, 2, 1, 1. That's a 30-cent bet, okay? Now I'm going to double that. I'm going to go $1.20, okay? I'm going to go $1.20 on this, and I think that's pretty conservative. And yeah, we'll just save this back here, save the last bet. All right, and I have the original Gladiator, which is just putting a unit here and a unit here, right? On the TAs and the Vozans, and that'll give us a $1.50 bet. All right, there we go. So we're off. And we're just going to repeat. And again, this is the same. Think of this as 5 double streets. So when you're thinking of your progressions, hey, how do I go through this thing? Pretend you're playing 5 double streets. And whether you want to do a 2x, a 3x, a 5x, whatever your progression schedule is for you, I like on 5 double streets. If you watch anything I do, I like 3x. I usually 3x for the first 2 losses, and then after that, I 2x it so it doesn't get completely out of hand. So we're going to 3x this. And while we're betting, we're going to hope that when you're down, you hit a 0, 2, or 3 because that plays triple. All right, we're off to a good start. We're at 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Some of that was wasted because I was building a bet, but we actually hit on that first one. So it actually paid us more money than we would have if we had built out the entire first bet. Today, Georgia is playing Alabama. I root for anybody playing Alabama. So let's go Georgia. Let's go Georgia. Anybody versus Alabama, I'm a fan of. Anybody. All right, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. 27, another winner. Boom. Now, as I said, you could click here and here like that, and you could place your bets. Okay, so it's a super simple way. And if you notice, if you're on the table and you notice that this section here is not hitting, go for it. Go for it. It's good to have those options. I will briefly, towards the end, if we have time, I will show you the version that when this person first came in our Discord and he said, hey, put 1 unit on TAs and 1 unit on Voisins. He didn't have a name for it at the time. And I did it. And I was like, okay. And we happened to hit some 0s and 2s and 3s. And I was like, okay. Because if you know me, I've never been somebody to cover 0s. I just don't care about 0. I don't use it. I hate when people say it's insurance. Oh, let's place our bet and then let's put cover the 0 as insurance. Listen, the 0 is just like any other number. So if you're going to cover the 0 for insurance, cover any damn number extra. You're just adding an extra number to your strategy. So anyway, so then Can went and looked at it for the French table and said, Can says, hey, we can make the 0 instead of the 0, 2, 3 being a 3x banger. If you go on the French table and set it up this way, when you hit the 0, it becomes a super banger because you're getting 50% back here on the outside 1-to-1 bets. And I'll show you what he came up with there. I'll tell you why I don't play that way anymore. and it's strictly superstition because I just had a bad run of luck. I didn't. And since I moved to this format, I've done very well on it on this format. All right, so we're at 445. Originally, when I built this bet out, it was at $3. $3 is a pretty big, I think we could do okay on it on $3, but I felt like $3 was pushing the limits with our progressions, and we're not looking to take those kind of risks. Oh, come on, give us that 0. All right, but that's okay. So again, if you want to figure out what your payouts are, you take $1.20 and divide it by 5. Now, $1.20 divided by 5, right, is 24, right? So we're making every single time that we win, we're making 24 cents on this thing, okay? If my math is right, right? 5 into $1 is 20 cents plus 5 into 20 is 4 cents, so 24 cents. Except if we hit 0.23, then we get 3 times that. That'll be what, $7.72 if we hit the 0, 2, or 3, 72 cents profit. Very nice. All right, we're continuing to cook here. We're doing really, really well here. And I have placed some very big bets with this format and have hit 0. In fact, I have some videos of it. And I got to tell you what, you place like a $10,000 bet on here and you hit 0, it's you make like almost $9,000 profit because the 0 doesn't quite double, but it gets you close. It gets you like an 87% return. So I have hit 10,000 on this a couple times and hit the 0 by just stroke of luck. And ooh, doggy, that's fun. All right, there we go. We keep winning. We're looking at this. We're 9-0. So far, so good. Dealer is doing well for us. We're at 6 minutes and we're already at $2. Remember, because this is one of, say, 3 to 5 sessions, really, if we're looking at a $7 daily target, right now we're at where we're at. And it's not a bad idea, even if you haven't hit your 15 minutes, break your sessions up into small, $1, $2, and get to that target within your 15 minutes and walk, right? Short bursts, get in, get out. I fully believe it. It doesn't matter. I get it. Mathematically, statistically, it doesn't matter. Mathematically, statistically, where I place the chips on here, you guys know I'm not a believer on wheel placement. So this is just superstition for me, because I'll show you the version that Can came up with. And because you have to cover 1 to 18 or 19 to 36, it means you're limited on where you can leave your open wax, because you have to either cover the entire, you have to cover one of the entire halves of the board. So you can't, like this one, I have open chips, open numbers spread out throughout it. If you go that way, you're limited on where you can have your open, where your wax are at. So, all right. Going. We're at 254. So again, you could easily stop right here and walk. Another thing you can do that I like, and I've been very, very happy with it and successful with it, if you want to take a session now and then and sort of go for it, what you can do is you can play normal, okay? You're just playing normal. You're playing within your progressions. You're playing within your 15-minute time box. And when you get to a certain amount, whatever that amount is, maybe you want to go for it. And you bet your entire profit on a spin. If you lose, you walk away, but you're not down. You didn't go into the negative, right? If you win, you get a banger. And then you can, what I'll do is I'll bet it all. If I win, boom, it jumps me up. Then I'll go back to my regular betting until I hit another amount. And then I'll only bet the profit on top of the profit and risk all that. If you win, great. If you lose, you're at least back to your profit and you walk away. You don't chase. You get one loss if you decide to do it. So the first time you do it is your biggest risk because it could take you back down to where you started, but you're not in deficit. After that, you're just risking the profit on top of the profit. I think that's a pretty cool way to do it. Maybe we'll do it here. I'm going to wait for a couple more. I feel like we're on a streak and we're going to get whacked, but you know, let's do it now. So we got a $3.02. We can afford to double that up. Here, we're going to go I can't do that. That's against the rules. So we're going to we're going to basically double our bet, but we saw that if we get to 360, we could do an even bigger bet. So normally I'll figure out what that is ahead of time and go, okay, I need to get to 360 before I can place that kind of bet. But We're going to risk it right here. And the deal is with you guys, I missed this one. We're on a video here and I'm only at nine and a half minutes. So I'll probably keep playing, but there we go. Boom. We just got a nice little hit there. Now we're going to go back to base bet on this thing and go from there. And again, if you want to go real easy, you just hit the TAs and the voisins. Boom, you're in. And it's a super easy one. But I've been playing this one at the casino on the ETG machines. And once you get that, you go 4 units here, 2 units on all the splits, and then 1 unit on any of the 4 remaining open numbers that you want. That's the easiest way to do it. You're going to go that many, and then you're going to cover that many splits. Oh, we were so close to the 0 again. Dang. So if you look at here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 11 splits. So there's 1 street, so to speak, because it's covering 3 numbers. 1 street with 4 units. What did I say? 11? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is supposed to be, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 splits and 4 straight ups. So the splits have 2 units. The 4 straight ups have 1 unit each. All right, there we go. 398. We're cooking. We're cooking. All right. And then what you can do is when you start getting up to say $4, you could risk 2 of it, or you wait. So we are at $1.20. You could say, okay, I'd like to bet 240. So once we get up to say $4.40, we could say we're going to risk 240, doubling our bet. And if we lose, then at least we have $2 profit and we're done for the session. And that's cool. And I normally will do that if I'm ahead, but normally I will make up my mind to do that at the very beginning of the session. Oh my goodness. There was that 2. The 2's a banger as well. 422. All right. You know what? Just to show you guys this. So just click. There we go. We'll play it this way. Watch me get whacked now and ruin my 17-0 streak here. So this is covering everything except this middle, the orphelins. It's covering everything but the orphelins. Okay. Now, again, when I was in Vegas one time, I was covering and they kept whacking these orphelins. And this dude kept leaving it open. And I'm like, dude, they're hitting the orphelins. Whatever you're betting, squid it. And so I started betting on the TAs and the orphelins. All right, that's a win. That's a win. Now I'm going to show you the version that Can came up with after I bet this. And I'm going to bet that and I'm going to build a new bet. And the way this one works is you are going to put 9 units on either high, on high. Let's just go with high because it makes the 0 coverage easier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're going to put 1 unit on a split, 2 units on the 0, 2, 3, and 3 units on a double street. You can choose the double street. 1, 2, 3. That's it. You're done. It's $1.20. See, it's the same. It's $1.20. That's it. Now I'll come back to that in a second. Actually, let's put it out there. Actually, it's $1.15. Or it's 15 cents. So we can double this, double it there. Let's get rid of this one. Delete. And we are going to save this last bet. It's $1.20, same as the other one. Now here's the deal. When it hits a 0, remember, because this is a French Le Partage table, we get 50% of our bet back here. This has 9 units on it. So we're going to get half of the 72 cents back there, plus the 3x that we would normally get up here. It becomes a super banger, but phew, we had that covered. But because you have to cover half the table, you're limited to where your open numbers can all be in here, okay? So you have to move these around one way or another. You can move your double streets over here. You have to decide what you want to leave open, as with everything, but you're confined to one end of the table or the other. Now, if you want to cover 1 to 18 and put this on the other end, it becomes a little bit harder because covering the ratios on the 0, 2, 3 become a little pain. I'm not going to go into it for this session, but you can actually, I think, go back and look at one of my earlier videos of Gladiator and explain how to do that, how to cover it up. Boom, there's a whack. That would have been a whack either way. So we're going to stay here. and we are going to triple up our bet. Okay, we're 20-1. That is pretty darn good. Okay, but you can see a 3x takes us to 360. What you might want to be doing is we're at 14, we're almost at 15 minutes. If this happens to you, you're still up 353 on one session. Rather than risking 360, which was going to put us in the deficit, just walk away. Just walk away and go, I'll come back and I'll start my second, because you're almost at your 15 minutes anyway. Why risk it all? Just leave if you're up that much. All right, there we go. We got one. And boy, I'm not, like I said, I for whatever reason, just a stroke of bad luck, when I kept playing this, yes, I hit some zeros and I got some very, very good bangers on this one. And in fact, when I was telling you I was betting the $10,000, it was on this version, which made that 10,000 almost a 9,000 profit. If we had bet the 10,000 on the version that I play now, normally that would make $2,000. It pays 3x. It would be a $6,000 payout. On here, it's a $9,100 payout or something. I mean, it's huge. It's huge. Oh, there's a 1. Oh, that's not a banger for us. The 2 and 3 are though. Oh no, what happened? I did something wrong here, because look, we lost money on that one. So I'll have to go back and look and see, what did I do wrong on that? I did something wrong with the ratios. So scratch that. And I'm going to go to 480. Scratch that one. I don't know what I did wrong. Maybe I put too many units down here. It could be 6 units. I don't know. I got to go back. I'm pretty sure it was right though. 1, 2, 3. I'll have to go back to the drawing board. So forget everything you heard me say about that version. Stick with this version, or the easy one, which is just straight up on the racetrack. There we go. All right, 449. Our high was 473, but we're at our 16 minutes. I will go just a couple more. I'll just go a couple more, but I would actually just like to stop right here. Just cancel it. So and walk away up 450, which is a very good one session, right? Because if we're looking at $7 is around a 5% target, we're over halfway to our 7% target, and this is only one session. Oh, of course, she whacks us. Of course. That's why you need to know when to walk away. All right, double. And I'm going to add that. So now we're at $8.40 bet. For sure, if I lose this one, we're done, and we'll have to make it up on the next day. But that is the power of walking away. When you get to a small profit, take off. Otherwise, you get yourself in this situation where you're going, oh crap, now I'm betting big. Now we started out with 100. We'd still be up 138, and we can make that up if we lose this, but you're losing a full day's worth of, almost, we'd be down $6. That's a full day's worth of the profit for me with one session. Boom. All right, 377. And I'm going to bring it down to 2 through 3. We're going to go with $3.66 bet, $3.60, and then we're calling it good. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go. Let's see if we can get a win on this one. Cross our fingers. It's that last, you know what I mean? You got the first bet curse, you got the dealer walk-off curse, and you got the last spin curse. All right, there we go. There we go. All right, we're ended up 449. I hate those kind of numbers. You know what we're going to do? We're going to bet one penny units for 5 double streets and make this a nice even 450. I'm going to come up here to our Excel sheet. And let's fill that in. We have a 450. We're going to daily loss. We're going to go plus that plus 4.5. There it is. We're at 499. We're at 149.46 on our session. We have taken our bankroll and gone up 50 cents, 50% already. We're 50%. So 8 more of these sessions roughly, and actually less because our amount's increasing per day, and we will have doubled our bankroll. I'm guessing we're going to double our bankroll in about 12 days, maybe 13, depends on how things go. So 12 days to 13 days, we will have doubled our bankroll. And that doubling, the amount that we actually get, is going to get more and more because our bankroll is getting bigger and bigger. So you can see how this is already snowballing. Stay the course. Don't get greedy. Think of things in percentages and stay the course. All right. That's it for today. Let me know what you think in the comments. Get in our Discord. Also get on our website, allonblack.net. And we will be launching a whole set of new tools that's going to help you track your progress, track your journey, as well as figure out progressions, et cetera, et cetera. I'll show you that when that comes out shortly. All right. Be good humans. Us against the casino as always. I'll see you next time. Cheers.